Okay, welcome back, and here I am with my review on Rogue. So, Rogue as a class, what they want to do, and as I said, this is their general game plan. You get something to stick on the board. You play a bunch of cheap removals early on to gain the board. You play a bunch of mid-range removals in the mid game to keep the board, and then in the late game you just have enough power and you have enough stuff that you're able to finish off your opponent. So the problem with that is that in the current meta, and it's going to be upcoming meta, there isn't going to be like enough cheap stuff to really take advantage of in the early game. The mid game, they're still going to have stuff, but there's enough stuff that's removals in the mid game, so it's not likely things are going to stick. And in the late game, everyone's going to have a bunch of stuff. So Rogue is going to win by roguing, and I'm not sure how well that's going to work in the current meta. As for like class mechanics, there aren't really that many class mechanics. There's like weapon mechanics, but I'll go over them with the each of the cards. But most of the cards, they're powerful individually. So starting off with the comments here. First one, we have Plagiarize. So Plagiarize secret. At the end of your opponent's turn, add copies of the cards they played to your hand. So card draw, you do not want to play card draw until the late game. So you're probably not playing this until turn 7, turn 8, turn 9, turn 10. And what you're getting is however much your opponent throws into your, like however much they play, that's what you're getting. So obviously your opponent, they can just play like 1 mana worth of stuff and then your Plagiarize doesn't work. But the caveat is they played 1 mana worth of stuff. And like that's enough to make Plagiarize work there. If they play out like their entire hand, they play out 10 mana worth of stuff, you get all that stuff back. You don't have like the initiative as much, but it's still a lot of value. You're probably going to get more value out of this than you would something like an Arcane Intelligence. So for me, this is like a borderline 3 to 4 star card, just because like it's not drawing from your deck, but you're going to get stuff to play with this card, a lot more than you would with other cards. Volpera Toxin Blade. Your weapon has +2 attack. This is an aura effect, not a battle cry effect like I thought at first. So, realistically, turn 2, you dagger. Turn 3, you play this, you kill the opponent's 3-drop. So, their 3-drop has to trade into your Volpera Toxin Blade. And then you either take it out with your dagger, if it's 3-4, or you have dagger charge while you get to play your 4-drop and kill 2 things for 1 card. So, really good. 4-star card. I compare it, another key thing. I compare it to Auto Barber, Goblin Auto Barber, which was a 2-mana 3/2, which gave your weapon +1 attack as a battle cry. So the key thing here with Toxin Blade is that it works significantly better on curve going first. Because that was a problem with Auto Barber, which was that you couldn't really play it till 4. And even as Rogue, if you coin out a 2-drop and then you play a dagger on 2, you can play this and it works much better with the curve. So because of how well it works with the curve, this is a really good card, and as I said, 4-star card. Only 5 stars because I think that the aura effect early on, when it matters, is a lot weaker than getting a battle cry effect for the same thing. Cunning Class, draw 2 cards, cost 1 less per attack of your weapon. You've always got access to a dagger, but you rarely have access to like more than that. So really it's 4 mana, draw 2 cards. That's really not that good. That's average. That's a 2-star card. Wand Thief. We saw this in Mage. Rogues, they're able to combo things very easily. Rogues getting access to Mage spells is really, really good. It offers them a lot of tools and removals and AoEs that you normally would not expect or would not play around. So this is a 4-star card, high 4-star card, just because this gives Rogue access, in a sense, to AoEs which they normally don't have. All right, going into the rares. Self-sharpening sword. So after hero attacks, gain +1 attack. So you start out with the 1/4, then a 2/3, then a 3/2, then a 4/1. So you get a total of 10 mana of attack with this weapon. If you throw in a deadly poison or if you have an aura effect, then it becomes a lot better. So the self-sharpening sword, the problem with it is kind of like the same problem with Assassin's Blade in that it's slow to get going. On turn 3, this is a bad play because on turn 3 it's not actually doing anything. So it's something that you play in the mid to late game, but in the mid to late game, again, 1 3 mana for 1 attack, and to get it going, it takes a long time. So I think it's a low 3-star card, but it's too long to get going, and it doesn't do enough on curve to justify it. Shifty Sophomore. So 4/4 stealth, that's good. Spell burst, add a combo card to your hand. This has stealth, so if you need to wait an extra turn, you can do that and just leave it stealthed to get the combo cards. Combo cards are good. 4/4 is good. Spell burst effect is good. So this is a good card. This is like a borderline 3-star, 4-star card. I think. All right, that's pretty much all there is to it. Oopsie. Coerce. Coerce, destroy a damage minion. Combo, destroy any minion. Remember, as a rogue, you have access to a dagger. Absolute worst case, you dagger something, you play this, you destroy it. Best case, realistic case, you just a 3-mana assassinate. So yeah, insane 5-star card. Like, I really don't think I need to go into why this is so good. Brain Freeze. Freeze a minion, also deal 3 damage to it. So, same thing as Mage. This is a 4-star card, just because the... Let me get to the right... sorry, this is not... Yeah, this is a low 4-star card, because having access to Freeze is good. 1 mana, deal 3 damage is good. You're going to have cheap stuff to combo this with. In the mid to late game, the combo effect is powerful, or just the freeze effect is powerful. In the early game, not so much, but you do have cheap stuff as rogue, so the combo will go off more than you would think in the early game. Potion of Illusion. Add 1/1 copies of your minions to your hand that cost 1. We had this in Mage. This is a bad card. You need a board, and then you get cheap stuff that doesn't do anything. It's a 1-star card. Just don't take it. Secret Passage. Replace your hand with 5 cards from your deck. Swap back next turn. Mage has Evocation. Warlock had Solarium. And this is an epic version of both of those legendary spells. So, yeah, and those spells were good, and this is good. It's a 5-star card. Like, 1 mana to effectively draw 5. Like, you can't play it this turn. Like, you can't play all of that this turn. But 1 mana, fill your hand, dump your hand out, and then get your hand back. That's really useful. Like, even, let's say you, turn 4. Turn 4, you have a bunch of big stuff, and you don't have a 4-drop. If you have this, you can play this, and maybe you can fish, and you can get a 3-drop, and you can stop yourself from being ran over so that you can get to your big stuff that's clogging up your hand. So just an extremely useful card. So as I said, this is an easy 5-star card for me. Steel Dancer. Summon a random minion with cost equal to your weapon's attack. So you always have access to the dagger, so it'll always be 4/4 and then a random 1-drop. So, like, and that's good. If you get access to things like the self-sharpening blade, or you get access to a Volpera that sticks on the board, this is really good. On curve, not so much, because you're not always going to have access to stuff on curve, but this is a consistently above average minion. To me, I think, like, I would say a high 3-star card, just because, like, on curve, it's not good enough to kind of justify, but otherwise it's just a good minion. For Legendaries, Janice Barov, same thing as in Mage. So you're still going to get a 4-drop, a 2/1, and a 4/1 or something like that from that. So you're still getting 8 mana worth of stuff. That's a 4-star card. Dr. Krasnov, Rush. Whenever this attacks, give your weapon +1/+1. I compare this to Captain Greenskin. This is a better version of Captain Greenskin. A 4/4 Rush is a lot better than a 5/4 by itself. The +1/+1 is going to be very good. So yeah, this is a good card. This is a 4-star card. You need to have your weapon equipped, but that's perfectly fine. Like, that shouldn't be that big of a deal. Infiltrator Lillian. 4 mana, 4/2 stealth. Death Rattle. Summon a 4/2 Forsaken Lillian that attacks a random enemy. So Jungle Panther is a 3 mana 4/2. So Jungle Panther for 1 more mana is Death Rattle, deal 4 damage to a random enemy, and maybe summon a 4/2. That's really good. That's a 4-star card. This is a card you're perfectly fine to take it. It's good cost for its stats. The 4/2 rush can sometimes like clear off a second thing. You can maneuver this so that, or you can maneuver the board so that you can use this to kill one thing, and then the 4/2 can possibly kill another enemy. And even if it hits face, you summon the 4/2 that did 4 damage face, and that's still good. So, as I said, 4-star card. Let me see, what's the Forsaken Lillian? Lillian Voss there, with like the shadows, the whatever shadows from her back. Alright, and that's Rogue. I think Rogue might be the one class that has the tools to really do like a tempo build. I think that they have enough removals that they can make tempo work, but I think in a true control meta, they aren't going to be able to rush the opponents down, and they aren't going to be able to outvalue the opponents. So I think they're only going to be like an average class in Scholomance when it starts. All right, next class is going to be Shaman. So Shaman, I will see you guys for them.